Buford Pusser, a name that folks know, the legendary Tennessee sheriff whose life inspired the movie Walking Tall. For decades, people believed he was a hero who fought corruption, moonshiners, and organized crime in McNairy County, Tennessee, and lost his wife Pauline in a violent ambush. But now, almost 60 years later, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation has come forward with what they call shocking new evidence. Evidence that may change what we thought we knew. On the night of August the 12th, 1967, according to the author W.R. Morse, Buford and Pauline was driving near the Tennessee and Mississippi state line when a car pulled up alongside. Shots rang out, Pauline was killed instantly, and Buford was badly wounded. Pusser said it was an ambush perpetrated by the mob in retaliation for his war against crime. Here is where the story takes a turn. In May of 2022, the TBI reopened Pauline's case with help from the University of Tennessee at Martin. They took another look at old evidence, and with permission of Pauline's family, the state exhumed her body for an autopsy. The TBI said the evidence didn't line up with Sheriff Pusser's story, such as case file pictures showing blood-stained splatters on the outside of the car. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation believes that Pauline was actually shot, more likely outside the car and then placed inside. They also found other injuries, such as a broken nose from the past, that's often associated with domestic abuse. The biggest shock of all is medical advisors stating they believe the sheriff's wound was self-inflicted.
Dr. Ravel opines that the gunshot wound to Buford Pusser's cheek was a close contact wound, not long range, as Buford Pusser described, and likely self-inflicted.
Most likely by sticking the gun barrel in his mouth and then turning the barrel to his cheek, minimizing facial damage. The district attorney and Tennessee Bureau of Investigation believe that now there is enough probable cause, if he were alive today, to indict him for murder. I thought that when I heard about the investigation into Pauline's death, there might be DNA evidence, but so far I don't see any. It makes me wonder, where was the TBI 58 years ago when all this evidence was fresh? Why did it take an individual to do their job? That's where Buford Pusser historian Mike Elam comes into the picture. Mike has been investigating Pauline's case for years. He has a YouTube channel dedicated to the Pusser ambush. Many of the interviews he conducted through the years with people who knew Buford and Pauline was also interviewed by state investigators after Elam furnished them with the evidence that he had collected. It seems that Mike Elam, over a period of time, developed a timeline up until Pauline was shot. When he located what could possibly be the M1 carbine used to kill Pauline, it broke the case wide open. Other Elam witnesses, such as Dennis Hathcock, son of W.O. and nephew of Jack, when still a teenager, along with a friend, actually followed Buford until around 2 or 3:30 the morning of Pauline's death. It seemed that following Buford had become a teenage thing to see what trouble the sheriff might get into each night. He stated that the sheriff was acting erratic, getting into arguments with a female friend and becoming physical, driving crazy, screaming tires and sliding sideways. When they seen that he was headed towards home, the boys believed the fun was over for the night. So Dennis rode his motorcycle back to his grandparents where he was staying. While the sheriff was on his way home, at the same time, it's been reported another witness and a good friend of Pauline's stated she drove Pauline to her house to get her clothes, thinking Buford would be gone. Pauline had left Buford the day before and was staying in a local motel believed to be in Savannah. It's also believed this witness was the wife of one of Buford's deputies. Pauline wanted her to go in the house with her, but she said no, afraid Buford might show up. So she drove up the street to wait. Pauline was supposed to flash the porch lights when she was ready to leave. Then her greatest fear was realized when she saw the sheriff's car pull in the driveway. A short time later, she heard what could have been a gunshot. Not knowing what to do or who to tell, after all, he was the sheriff and her husband would most assuredly take Buford's part. So she left, not knowing what had happened. A few hours later, she learned that Pauline had been killed in an ambush. And now, some 60 years later, it comes to light, when the sheriff is unable to defend himself. Whose fault was it that it took so long? The McNairy County Sheriff's Department surely wasn't going to investigate their own sheriff, so the investigation was left up to the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations, who failed miserably. They knew that there were several witnesses crucial to the case that they intentionally ignored.